Hey man, I think Emily from Reshape, we just posted saying we can go fourth.
I guess Blueberry could go. Actually, Kaiko, I don't know if you want to go fifth or sixth.
Doesn't matter. Fifth is fine. We're all going
Yeah.
at some point, so yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
And then Deep Vista can go after that.
Sounds good.
Hey everyone. Okay. I think some of the coaches wanted us to loom this session. So, Min, are you recording it from your side? Okay, perfect. So I want to make sure everyone has the majority of time today. I know there was some questions about how we're going to use all hands today. I sent a few chat throughout the week on our Slack channels. So everyone should be ready to share out. Every team and every group may be sharing out like different formats. Some might be sharing prototypes, videos, Figma files, decks. The format is flexible. As we move closer to demo date that Grace is setting up in SF Tech Week, if you haven't been to SF Tech Week before, we'll send more information what it is. But it's basically a week of like founders, events, startups. So if you're traveling, this way, not only will you be attending demo day, but you can plan accordingly, come check out, co-work with us alongside attending all these events. So even though this week, like this all hands, like we mentioned, is the last all hands, like this is the 10th all hands, we will still have an optional one next week on the 10th. So that's the, like, I know the wording is a little bit confusing. So there's like a bonus all hands on the 10th, but this is the last and 10th all hands. So this one will still keep it very productive, very content focused. We want everyone to do the share outs and we'll talk about feedback, look at everyone's work. The next one, we'll make it more of a fun one. So it will be more of a celebration wrapping up the end of 10 weeks. Before we jump in and go into presentation, some final tips I want to emphasize is there should be a few goals all the teams are moving towards completing. The first one is just make sure that you are very clear to your client. This is wrap up week. So my advice there is like if the client still has ideas or has different sort of things they're requesting, that is okay, but you want to make it very clear and emphasize like, hey, like it's really amazing working throughout the 10 weeks. But this is going to mark like the end of a sprint or an end of the PRD. Revisit your original PRDs if they pivoted a lot. Make it very clear like, hey, this is the final handoff. Also, we highly encourage everyone. We're not going to do this officially until closer to demo day. But if you feel like you have a very strong connection with your founder, there is always this good opportunity where by this time, you can start reaching out to them personally, talking about like next steps, potentially working with the project if you're still interested in more long-term. This is also a good opportunity to ask for those continued like paid roles. So later today, right after this all hands, I'll be sharing a document with some templates for all of you. Inside, there will be ones where like if you're asking for continued work, there will be ones where maybe if you're not too interested, but you just want to update on your resume, There will be ones where like maybe if you're currently having an interview, right, you want them for background check purposes. So there'll be different templates. Just make sure you save the doc, because even if you're not sending anything today, you might be using them in the future. I also recommend whatever share out you're doing today, we're going to record everything for all of you, but take a lot of screenshots as well. Like even if you don't have everything in full deck formats, the second thing that will really help you is a personal goal for you, which is start building out your LinkedIn presence. So a very easy opportunity for building up your presence and letting people notice you is share your work output on LinkedIn. You can really quickly tag the founder or the company, and then just say like, hey, this 10 weeks, this is the output we're sharing. The final goal, which actually is what I want all of you to prioritize and focus on, is thinking about your storytelling. So we talked about this in a bunch of workshops and sessions already in the past few weeks. So the most important thing that you want to at least make sure as a team you complete is similar to what the share out. See if your documentation is very solid. So you want to start compiling everything into either like Google Docs, a massive Figma file, and make sure the documentation is really solid, because this is the time where like as a team, you have the most resources and manpower to make sure everything is like super well documented. So when you do your storytelling in the future, you can pick and choose the parts you need. I believe I sent that template example to all of you from Tempo and a few other places. So you all should have those examples already from earlier weeks. If there's no other questions on these things, next week, work with your coach on these goals to start wrapping up. But I really advise make your last week more about you and what you are going to story tell in your future, and less about your founder. So you should not be taking on new opportunities or new responsibilities in the last week. Make sure it's just wrapping up what is already committed, and really focus last week's time on building relation with your coach, building relation with your teammates, and then just wrapping up the project. So hopefully that makes sense, and I'll pass it to whichever team wants to go first.
Didn't mean to raise my hand, but just wanted to clap for the team.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna set that up and share my screen. So give me 1 minute. Okay, audio was not working, so I was muted. So I'm gonna take it from the top now. So, all right. So hey guys, so we're at Team Ion, and today we're going to share more about our project that we've worked on for the past 10 weeks. So this is what we're going to be sharing in chronological order, so with a strong focus on our final designs. And Ion is part of Y Combinator's Winter 2024 batch. It is an AI tool that helps designers design and publish polished designs that are production ready. So Ion is an AI native design tool that lets you edit any code base like it's a Figma file. So the company mission is really to empower product thinkers to build fast and exercise creative control without writing a single line of code. So who are our target users? Our target users are what we define as builders. So anyone who wants to ship designs fast, whether it be a designer, founder, or engineer. So we built Ion in mind that we're targeting small and medium-sized companies, those who want to ship fast. So what is the challenge here? So for the past 10 weeks, we've been tackling the challenge on how to build out native robust functions for Ion. So let's dive in about the user problem. So what is that exactly? So users experience friction from start to end of their design process. So let me give you an example. So let's think of this user as a builder named Sophie. She's a product designer who works at a startup who follows a lean design process from kickoff to delivery. So on a typical work week, she is tasked with the feature rollout. So there are 4 key phases in her design process. from the kickoff call to engineering handoff. So overall, Sophie's experiences high friction from start to end of this feature rollout process. Specifically, ideation, review, and delivery are the root cause of her day-to-day frustrations. And this includes unclear direction from peers, scattered feedback across different platforms, and misaligned handoff, which many of us could probably relate to. And after learning about Sophie's design process, it's like, so it makes us think as a collective team, how might ION be leveraged to streamline Sophie's design process? So to zoom out, we used several research methods to learn more about our users. So really pinpointing pain points and ION's area of opportunity to add value to team design workflows. So post-research share-out, we really refined our research synthesis deliverables, and this was a key defining moment for our team because it really helped set the stage for the remainder of our project. So this includes defining AI's role in design and reasons for AI drop-off, and really learning about how AI can enter the equation and really add value to our users who are builders, to how we might add value to their design workflows. So here's a snapshot of our team's brainstorming session we had with ION engineers and CEO. This was a few weeks ago. And next, we'll talk about key takeaways from what we learned from research. So to zoom out a bit, as a team, we worked on how might we address how might AI behave. So as we navigate our project, our solutions really prioritize the following. First, AI as a thought partner. 2, designing workflows are being amplified by AI. And 3, the importance of user autonomy. So the ability to empower users to design with precision. So with that in mind, how we thought about how might we create a streamlined experience to ideate, capture, and execute our users' imagination. So next, I'll hand it off to Esther, who will walk you through High Fives, our design rationale, and ION's vision of the future.
Hi, everyone. I'm Esther. So based on what we've learned from our users, the team conducted some lightweight usability testing to get to final designs and to help us work on the next stage of our project. So as a reminder, this is what the original ION interface looked like. In its original state, ION's default view required users to click on the element-specific cursor shown here to activate the design panel. This made the process of making edits lengthy and less discoverable. And then this is what's being shipped right here. So on the layers panel, the user can easily navigate through pages and select subpages. When clicking on elements on the canvas, users can go to the chat to view variations or prompt changes, or use this design panel on the right to make edits. They can left align or even center align elements. And the contents of the design panel would adjust based on the element that's selected. So we had to take into account heuristics. And then the user can also edit the text using the content section of the panel. Awesome. So we'll go through. Okay. So with the layers panel, users can now select the deeply embedded elements on the canvas and easily navigate designs on the workspace. So 4 sections make up the layers panel. The uppermost part gives users the option to go back to view other projects. Below that, users can choose path versions of the design by selecting the dropdown. And then we have the pages and layer section that I mentioned previously. So for the new property panel, we considered the limitations that users experienced with ION's original design panel, which is how we decided that the sections that make up our MVP would include the layout, typography, appearance, fill, and effects sections, and then also a content section. So on that content section, the user is given the option to link elements on the canvas to existing or new pages straight from that property panel. And on top of redesigning the property panel, the team also started thinking of how to improve element editing on the canvas in a way that made element-specific editing highly discoverable and collaborative. So this is where the toolbar and live cursor come in. The toolbar contains quick actions for the user. It contains the element-specific selection cursor, the option to drop in elements onto the canvas, and then the AI button, which exposes an AI-specific toolbar. So Ion's new default view now has the element-specific cursor selected when users land on the workspace. And we did this to improve discoverability of the design panel and the ability to select and edit elements on the canvas. So right now the live cursor is in progress, but I'll touch on it a little bit in our next phase, which is the infinite canvas portion. So here I'll give a sneak peek into what's to come with the infinite canvas, which basically just unifies the property and layers panel. And then we add in a few different features into it. So here we'll be streamlining robust design functions to elevate design craft. With the infinite canvas, we're leveraging Ion's AI capabilities by turning AI into a design companion that empowers users to refine designs. We're amplifying design workflows and ensuring team efficiency by adding in a layers panel, property panel, and an AI agent called Ruby to reduce the AI learning curve users experience and add value to our users. To cater to all types of users and their preferred way of designing, we're pairing the property panel with the live cursor. So our live cursor essentially acts as your personal team member. It shares suggestions, responds to your edit requests, and then makes changes in real time for you. And for instances when the user wants more flexibility and the option to view multiple full page or component level designs, users have the flexibility to request the creation of new variants with the option to preview or edit those designs while simultaneously viewing Ion's rationale behind the creation of those designs. So the infinite canvas is made up of two parts. One of them is the broad view, where users can make variant edits at the macro level, and then users have the option of selecting full page or component variants. And after selecting a design at the macro level, users are taken to the second part of the infinite canvas, which is the refinement view. So this is where they can further refine parts of the design at the component level. And as a way to further enhance the user experience and oh, sorry about that. So here we have the live cursor. So the live cursor gives users the option of adding in text prompts to make edits to elements on the canvas. And then as a way to further enhance the user experience, an AI audio augmentation feature was added to that live cursor. It lives on the toolbar as shown here, and then we added this as an alternative way of editing elements to cater to users who find writing out edits tedious. And then we plan on seeing how both the live cursor just default stage how the live cursor at its default stage, and then also how this AI augmentation feature performed during usability testing to help guide our direction in our iterations. And for next steps, we're really excited to have our proposed ideas from F1 to F3 shipped. So far, Ion has installed 70 times, and 12 out of their 13 clients have been onboarded. And this is our wonderful team of 6 with Johnny as our mentor. And we're just overall really excited to see the results and the high value that these changes will bring to our users. So thank you for listening, and we're excited to hear any feedback that you might have.
This is really great. Thank you, team. And just for time, let's do quick comments and everything on the chat first. And then for longer notes, we can go on Slack. And then if there's feedback, we can do when every team presented. So make sure every team can get time. So whatever is the next team, feel free to share a screen.
All right, we're Team Talofa. Kieran's gonna kick us off.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, hi, we are Monster Walk team, and Monster Walk is a gamified fitness app by Talofa Games that allows users to convert their real-life steps into in-game stamina, allowing them to explore virtual fantasy world, battle monsters, and gain rewards. This is our team. For the sake of time, I'm going to shout out our coaches, Victoria and Jenny, and also the CEO of Talofa Games, Jenny, different Jenny. And yeah, here is a short visual if the video will work. I guess not. Well, oh, never mind. Here's a short visual of the Monster Walk gameplay experience. So when players enter the game, they can begin by exploring the map and using their real-life steps that are converted to in-game stamina. And here they can run into monsters that they can choose to battle. And they can battle these encountered monsters by summoning their own monsters from their squad. And battling monsters and exploring the map allows players to gain rewards. So our team was tasked with focusing on the enhancing the welcome back moment. This moment is the first experience that shows when users return to the game. It should feel celebratory and rewarding to reinforce habits and increase player retention. Here is the current in-game welcome back experience. Functionally speaking, it has all the player needs to log in for the day. We travel from the loading screen to the daily in-game tasks for the player to complete, to the amount of stamina collected, and then to their current streak and their daily rewards. Finally, they end up in the map to explore and begin gameplay. However, this flow lacks any sort of emotional connection with the user, which can lead to lower player retention.
So as you might imagine, we had a ton of ideas for how to bring some more excitement and rewarding energy into the welcome back experience. So we came up with a bunch of different concepts, and we wanted to share today about our user testing in particular. We ran multiple rounds with both active Monster Walk players and new users in our target demographic for Monster Walk. So we were really interested in this habit loop that actually shout out to Hannah May for introducing this to us in office hours and the context of gaming. But essentially, and say, for example, in the context of Monster Walk, the cue might be perhaps a push notification on your phone to use your real world steps to get in the game, use them as stamina to clear the fog and save the monsters. So you open that notification, you open the app, and your reward is maybe a daily streak bonus, maybe it's a monster message or a hidden monster. We wanted to know which of these sorts of concepts would really motivate users to return.
Yeah, so based on our research findings, we explored 3 core concepts that user gravitated towards. And the first one would be streaks, which basically celebrates user consistency by highlighting streaks, reinforcing a sense of progress, and also rewarding continued engagement. And the second concept is squad leader, where we try to build on the emotional connections users have with their monsters. Since Monster Walk's gameplay revolves around collecting and rescuing monsters through battles, so we aim to amplify that bond by positioning the monster as a personal cheerleader, and also reinforcing social support and emotional investment.
And for the third concept, we wanted to introduce the idea of something powerful yet unknown. Essentially, we wanted a monster waiting to be uncovered through play. And so we believed hidden monsters would spark curiosity, create emotional investment, and make exploration exciting.
Yeah, so we got some really, really awesome feedback from our power users, as well as some friends and family we recruited to also look at these concepts, which gave us another lens to view the game in from the new user perspective. But we wanted to share a few really awesome quotes. So this is from a Monster Walk power user. She said, "I love my little guys. It's nice that they acknowledge that I'm in there with them now. I'm back on the grind to help them clear the fog. Having the monster there to greet you is really nice." So that definitely captured the emotional connection that our players have with the monsters. And then when it came to the daily streak concept, we heard something different actually from one of our new users. "It's not clear to me that I'm going to get something every day." This was awesome feedback. We were able to implement it immediately to make the daily streak screen much easier to understand, which you will see shortly in our final prototypes. And then one more quote we wanted to share. A power user said, "I do like how you don't know what you're going to get tomorrow, so you better come back tomorrow to see." So very clearly, they're really interested in that element of mystery. What is there left to be uncovered? Keeping that intrigue and excitement. So key insights that we wanted to pull out and design for. Definitely that monster interaction. That's an emotional reward for our players when they're interacting with their monster. They are feeling good, feeling excited. That element of mystery, we heard it as well for that hidden monster concept. They were super intrigued for what's next, as I mentioned. And then when you can clearly visualize progress, players are feeling awesome, rewarded. That was actually very relevant for our new users who didn't quite have that emotional connection yet with the monsters, but were interested in tracking their steps, interested in using their steps for gameplay and discovery. So yeah, basically a lot of what we thought about that monster connection was validated by our user testing, and we got a lot of really useful feedback that we were then able to incorporate into our proposal.
Yeah, so we will now show you our finished prototypes. First, we're going to give you a refresher of the current welcome back experience. Yeah, this is also a beta version with an added progress ring and daily streak, separated from the welcome back claim stamina experience. Our team ideated and collaborated with Talofa to implement this ring concept similar to Apple Fitness and also the new daily bonus flow. So here's our proposed concept. This case will show the user's first time opening the app for a new day. And it includes a squad leader for familiarity and connection to your monster team. As one of our power users put it, I think it would be really cute if you knew which monster was last in the leader spot, and having the monsters greet you is really nice. So it has this sense of familiarity, and then you collect the stamina after you see how many steps you've gained. And the monster gives you a quote, which is really nice to maximize that bond with your monster. And then we get welcomed with this daily streak. For the daily streak, we introduced milestone rewards so that users would see what's coming up next. And we also added question marks after the reward you're getting for that day, because like we said before, one of the users said, I do like how you don't know what you're going to get tomorrow, so you know you better come back tomorrow and see. And they really liked this sense of mystery, and it motivated them to come back for the next day. So you can claim that reward, and then it leads you to this like daily quest screen where you can see all your daily quests, where to go next, and also tap anywhere to just start exploring and enter the main gameplay. Yeah, so for the next screen or flow that we'll be showing you, it has the mystery monster, which is one of the concepts. This would be for the second time you open the app, and it implements this theme of mystery and motivation as well. So you collect your stamina as usual, and it gives you that same quote to come motivate you and free this monster from the fog. And it really resonated with our power users because they were really into the lore and the mystery of the game, and just coming back to save these monsters. And then you get sent to this daily quest screen again, where you can tap anywhere to explore, or get sent to one of those quests. Yeah. Thank you.
Good work, team. Okay, let's go to the next team, and then for the two teams that are represented and every team that follows, send the deck link or whatever you're sharing today. Send the Figma link on the Slack, and send both the prototype link and the original file so we can leave comments. So yeah, all the coaches will be leading comments, and if you have a strong opinion, like even if you're not working on the other project, feel free to leave a comment for that team.
Okay. Hey everyone, my name is Mahima, and myself and Santiago will be presenting on behalf of my worker AI. So before we go ahead today, we are going to be walking through our prototype. But before we do that, I will just give you a quick background of our team and our project. We have our team leads and team coaches, Namita and Leon, and our team members, Santiago, Lana, myself, Atisha, Jesvian, and Sam. So about My Worker AI. My Worker AI is an AI-powered platform that helps startup founders automate lead discovery and outreach to connect with high-quality potential customers 24/7. And the project that we are working on is our team is building an AI avatar that greets, qualifies, and sells just like a founder would. And the challenge that we are tackling is how might we design a transparent AI solution that earns radical trust quickly by blending founder-level charisma, empathy, and human-aware intelligence to convert curious visitors into qualified leads. I'm going to hand it off to Santiago, and he will walk you guys through our prototype.
Yep. Hello, everybody. I'm Santiago. Give me just a couple seconds to pull up our prototype. So, starting out with our prototype, this is the homepage of My Worker AI's website and the initial landing page that the users kind of first see when they get on the website. And so we had an end vision of seeing this product really being able to have founders see and have the vision of having this AI avatar on their website as well. And so we thought for this MVP of initially having it starting out on My Worker AI's website, just so they can get a good vision and end goal of how it would look on their website as well. So starting out, this is the initial homepage for My Worker AI. And as you can see at the top right, we have our AI avatar. Her name is Alex, with a message banner of just letting her know of what she could help you with. And so some insights that we found too was when we tested out this first page, we had her at the very top right of the homepage, and we found that users glanced over her or missed that she was even on the page. And so we thought of how could we make her a bit more prominent, but still not intrusive to the user, where they kind of scare her and just, but still make the user want to talk to her and feel very inviting, right? So we thought of having it more closer to the header, because that's where the most people thought that they saw. That's the first thing that they noticed was the header on the website. And so we thought maybe having it a bit closer to the header within the little square segment here. And so starting out, when you click on her, it opens up. And a fair warning too, this is a bit buggy, but we also have some segments where she actually talks. So just fair warning for volume. And so this is the initial message that she says that she can do. She can answer your questions about the company or find 5 new leads in just a couple minutes. And so again, like Mahima said, the background of My Worker AI is that they help with outreach to get leads for companies. And so here they just have 2 options. And so for this instance, she wants to learn more about My Worker AI, right? So she clicks this option, and it gives a little visual on how My Worker AI works and how the company is and how you can build something great with My Worker AI, and how it uses advanced AI lead discovery to help most people with their outreach for their company with high potential leads. And then after the visual, it shows that she can help and show like a little demo of the product that My Worker AI has. And so it asks a question if the user would like to see it in action. And so for this instance, they want to, so they say, let's do it. And with
We
this,
generate leads by analyzing the website. Should I use your company's site or show you an example?
and so with that, we also have different versions of her. So the minimize at the start, and then the 50%, and this is the 100%. And the design decision for that was that we wanted to give the user some options, because they might want to be able to still look through the website, but also still talk to her as well if they have any questions. And so starting out with generating some leads, she needs to look at a website, right? And so for an example, she says, I can use the company site or an example. And so in this instance, I'm going to put myself in the shoes of a founder for the company called Kaseya. And so here in the text input field, I'm going to put Kaseya website URL. And then once I'm done, I can upload it.
Okay, I'm finding your ideal customer profile. Give me just a moment to analyze the site and find companies with a user value. Identifying Kaseya's primary industry. Discovering company size to understand your market position. Analyzing your core value proposition.
And after that loading state is over, it then displays their ideal customer profile for the industry, the company size, role, and the primary goal for that said company. And so after that, it then asks if they would like to find 5 qualified leads for them, or if there's something that they would like to adjust within the ICP, they would be able to. And so for this instance, it all seems correct. Real estate, 100 employees, property manager, and the goal seems correct. So I'm going to go and find my 5 free leads. And so in this loading state, again, it's just very immersive, very interactive to just like show and explain what the AI is actually doing. And so after all of these loading states, it's just helping the user understand what they're doing, what the AI is doing. And then after it's done, it then finds the 5 qualified leads and attaches personalized outreach emails for each of them. And so if they would like to view the email, they can just click on the button and then shows the email draft that it created for that lead that it found. And then also it displays the name, role, company, and their LinkedIn as well. And so after that, it says it asks them if they would like to create a pre-account to then send the emails and unlock hundreds of more leads than just these 5. And so for this instance, I'm going to create an account. And after that, it then pops up this sign-in form. And so like most people, I'm going to sign up with Google. So I'm just going to hit Andres, because that's the founder of Kaseya. Just sign up with Google really quick. And then once it's done, it says that the personalized outreach emails have been sent. And then it says if you would like to view your dashboard to start an email campaign, because that is the main product of my worker AI, is to then like start with outreach and then create an email campaign. And so leading into that email campaign right from this AI interaction along helps with lead generation as well. So for this instance, I'm just going to start my email campaign. And then after that, redirects the user to start their email campaign and says goodbye. And that is our prototype.
Great work, team. Send this on the Slack too. We'll leave some comments, and great work, Namita. This is a very good Google style prototype demo, and Santiago, great job walking through it. All right, next team.
Cool. So we're Team Reshape. Cool. So Reshape is an AI-powered fitness and health tracking app focusing on body transformation, weight loss, habit formation, and health management. After our initial research and then talking to our founder, we came up with 2 how might we statements. One to increase user engagement. How might we integrate a reward system to provide a clear and visually motivating summary of a user's daily progress? And then one to help increase user retention. How might we use hyper-personalized AI workout plans to build long-term habits and keep users invested in their fitness journey? So based on those 2, to increase the user retention, we updated a workout plan creation, editing, and logging flow, and then a new mode for working out called sequential mode. And then to increase user engagement, we created a reward system, including levels, badges, celebrations, updating their streaks, and adding a leaderboard. Anne's going to go over our workout prototype.
Okay, so now I'll be walking you through the workout prototype we've been working on, and I'll cover how beginner users create the workout plan, edit this, and block their workout. So users can enter the workout page from the home screen and click on the button to generate their plan. And here are the two major modes we've been working on, all the questionnaire and the chat with field options. The differences are that the questionnaire includes multiple questions that users will select the options, while the field option provide a more interactive flow where users can chat with the AI assistant and answers questions to create their plan. So let's go through the smart questionnaire flow first. So in this mode, users will select the options and answer questions like your levels, your goal for the training, and the preferred day you would like to train. And also select your preferred locations. And there are also options for inputs, any additional notes. And also there's the option to optimize your workout plan by upload your body photos to analyze. And there are guidance that go through each step as you upload your body photos. And now AI will help you generate your workout plan. And after the plan is generated, user will have the option to save the plan and lift it directly, or preview and edit your plan before saving it. And on this, after you go back to the first workout screen, you can have the option to always edit your workout plan by clicking on the Manage page. And here it lists the plan, the detail of the plan, and you can click on the card to view the daily session details. And you can always swap the exercise as you prefer. And you can also swap the daily session between different days to better personalize your workout plan. So next, we'll move on to the workout login process. To provide a more beginner-friendly experience, we introduce a new sequential mode, which provides an automatic and step-by-step guidance. While for the classic mode, we focus on refining the current product interface by making it much cleaner and clearer. So before each login, users can choose the mode to start their workout. And let's go through our new sequential mode first. So there will be an automatically played video, and users can just listen to the audio and follow the instructions, and go through the whole daily sessions. And after you finish your daily session, you will get the overview of your workout details and your achievement. And you can always share your progress with your friends and others. So that's a quick walkthrough of the overall workout flow we've been updating. And now I'll hand it over to Emily to dive into the new reward system.
Thank you, Anne. So starting from home, user can take a look at their achievements inside their About page. So here, which includes like badges and celebration. Starting with badges, they can filter by levels or categories. And for categories, we have different categories like for workout or for meal or for targets. And once they click on like a certain badges, it will show a detail of the badge. So for instance, this is Millographer, like awarded for a first photo log, and it'll show achievement stats of like how many users have earned this badge and the requirements for earning the badge. And the difference between badges and celebrations are badges is a one-time earned achievement, while celebrations is more of like you can earn repeatable times, which is more of like a milestone. So as you can tell from here, like the first photo log meal only, user will earn a badge. So moving on to celebrations. So user can see like a summary of their total earned celebrations with a tooltip here explaining what is celebrations is a repeatable awards. And I click understood, and users can sort the list by recent, oldest, and most earned. And if you click oldest, it'll order. And the user can also tap on a specific celebration, for instance, this one, and the pop-up will show like celebration icon and the data of like, oh, what are the 4 targets that they earn? And let me close it. And finally, we can filter by category like nutrition, targets, or workout. And for each of the celebrations, it has like an icon, the celebration name, the data of like, oh, what is the celebration about, and the date earned. Next, we'll move on to the streak. A lot of our users mentioned they don't understand like, oh, what streak is, how to earn it. So we kind of work on like a preview of what a streak is and how to maintain it, supported by a clear graphics of what it looks like. And next, we introduce a new feature of streak freeze, where user can earn it for completing a 5-day streak, and supported by illustration below. To help the user understand and use streak better, here's an illustration of like a tooltip. If they click this here, they can use the streak, and there's last streaks earned and also the freeze left. Next is towards a leaderboard. It'll have like a pop-up saying like if the user want to be added into the leaderboard with a description. And if I click yes, add me, it will leave to top. They can see like the top 5 users who earned the most streaks, and user who earned the highest streak will be like in the top 1 here. And as you can see, like Brian have 12 badges and 150 streaks, and they can also scroll down to see others in the leaderboard. And if they want to click on themselves, we clear all, they're on 21st. Yes, so that's it for our prototype. For next steps, we completed usability testing with current and new users. So we are gathering insights and we'll share out those notes to our founder. Thank you guys for listening.
Great work, team. Okay, Min, anything else on your schedule? Okay, yeah. Whatever order Min you have on your schedule, we can go next.
Okay, I will share. Let me share the slides for that. Okay. All right. As long as everyone can see my screen. Perfect. All right. All right. We are Team Blueberry, and we turn social media comments and chatter into conversations and community engagement automatically. Let us show you what we mean. Meet Maya. She's the head of growth at an e-commerce skincare brand, and they have over 23K followers and make a couple million in annual revenue. So Maya works for an established brand, and they're about to launch a new product. Let's see here. They're about to launch a facial spray, but oh no, we see that 8 hours ago, someone commented an absolute lie that these guys engage in animal cruelty. No, this is not true, but people have already seen it. This is a problem.
Just like the rest of us, Maya is human, and so she needs her sleep. And unfortunately, the sleep happened when someone commented untrue things about their brand. And so while she was resting for 8 hours, this allegation blew up and it went unaddressed by her. Not only did this increase negative sentiment about the company by 15%, there was also an estimated 26 orders lost, or over $3,000 in revenue. This sucks for the brand, and it definitely sucks for Maya. The CEO is very upset at her. She feels like she's at risk for losing her job. She left a negative comment there for hours during peak scrolling time, and her CEO really wants to make sure it's not going to happen again. But we can help her out, and that's why we built Blueberry.
So fortunately, Maya, thankfully, she heard about Blueberry from word of mouth, and a bit curious, a little bit skeptical, she decides to sign up for her brand. So she looked through the carousel and sees a couple of comments about Blueberry. That's okay. So immediately the first thing she sees is that it asks for her brand website. She inserts it, and instantaneously she just sees that it's loading up. It brought up her brand name instantaneously and the logo. Cool, kind of feels effortless. So she continues next, and sees that it needs her Meta Suites account, which is fine because it has all her socials and ad accounts. It needs it, obviously. So she decides to connect onto her Meta account, and from that, she decides to log into her Facebook, insert her email and passwords, and logs in. Connects the Blueberry into it, and now she's connected. Wow. So within seconds, she noticed that Blueberry has already detected her and her social accounts. Everything's synced. Everything looks ready to go. So let's just see what's the hype about and see that dashboard.
Next up, Maya lands right into the inbox page, where she can see all the comments, including the stinking one that's potentially gonna hurt her job. She noticed that there are already auto-generated responses waiting. She sees that the AI has already generated. Thanks for the feedback, William. We offer a generous 1-month free trial, and you won't be charged. Oh wait, I think this is the wrong one. Never mind. Let's go to another one. But basically, she can see that all these comments are being replied. All the replies are being generated automatically by the AI already. So she clicks on it, and she can edit it, and then she can click send. And just like that, the message has been sent. And she can also close out that window and go to the next one. And just like that, very easy and simple, she can just scroll through all the comments that's already being automatically surfaced by Blueberry. And she can also go into each replies and edit them and send. And now she wonders, this is already kind of on point, but I wonder what else can I tweak and go into the nitty-gritty details about how the replies are being done and generated.
Yeah, so if Maya isn't happy enough with her AI generated replies, she can always go into brand voice to really refine what she exactly wants. So then she could refine on like the traits that she wants with like her brand voice, and then like save the voice just to make sure everything's saved, and then make sure that, hey, you know what? Let's give it a test run and see how well does it respond to certain comments. So she puts in like a comment, and then runs a test to see how well it turns out. And wow, look at there! You could see her AI generated response with like a personal touch to it. And then when you scroll down, if she wants to add some automation rules, right, or add a knowledge base, let's go for automation rule first. She could put in a rule name, right? And then when this happens, right, an AI detects a description. So when a comment asks about product detail or pricing, yada, 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 then do this. And to do this would be like auto reply or like certain other like automation like actions. So for this instance, she would want to use auto reply for this. And then she will create a rule. And if we scroll down here, wow, we see a rule that just got applied and created. And then from there, she's able to enable auto reply to make sure everything gets done for her. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it for the prototype itself. Okay, go. I think we go to the next slide now.
I'm trying to click forward on
Oh,
that, but
shoot.
it's stuck in the prototype.
Oh crap.
Really?
Oh no.
I'm like, why is it stuck in the actual prototype now? Okay, I got it. I got it.
Okay, okay.
Let me click forward again. I think we. Or my laptop freaking crapping on me. Okay, there we go. My apologies for that. My laptop didn't like me there. There we go.
So after spending her time in Blueberry, now Maya happily goes back to her the brand's Instagram page and see that the comments has been applied, and she's now very happy. She knows that she saved her job, and then she will avoid any future similar things from happening. And that's our presentation. Thank you guys so much.
Great work. Very good to spice up it. So thanks for all the humor. Great storytelling. Okay, I think we have our last team. So we'll do the last team, and then we're a little bit over time, but thanks everyone for giving your full attention.
Shirley, I think you're on mute.
Sorry for that. Hi all, so we are Team Deep Vista AI, the smart assistant for founders, emails, and decisions. What is Deep Vista AI? Deep Vista AI helps startup founders to manage their emails and decisions efficiently. It gives you context-aware replies, organizes your emails, and summarizes discussions for you. It gives inputs such as product market fit, analysis, and also action items, which keeps the founders focused and productive. I will start with the result from our research phase. The result was the founders struggle with mental overload and scattered communication, lack of actionable support. They want a solution that manages the bandwidth, prompt actions, and bring clarity to the chaotic workflow they have. So to brush you all up, what we gathered a lot of insights from our research phase, which we synthesized and distilled into our value proposition. We did the primary research and the secondary research, in which we did like competitive analysis. We did a detailed research to understand who these solo founders are. And also we did like the focus group research and user interviews to come out with the how might we design an AI workspace that helps early stage founders make confident cross-functional decisions faster with less mental strain, which gave us a lot of good direction to move to our ideation phase, which Jasmine will take over.
Hello, let's get started. We quickly generate a range of concepts of diverse ideas exploring both positive and negative user experience with AI systems to help build visualized user journeys. Moving forward, these are the most important features we have: organized feedback nodes, AI suggested replies, and conversational editing, drag and drop artifacts, and AI tweaks with the artifact based on the conversation tool. Later, we can add more features like the pin makers or syncing calendars and journey entries in the future. Moving forward, we identified pain points in the early with the P0 features, help us save time, development, and key functions, writing for AI assistants, and conversational editing for email drafts. Moving forward, this map outlines a well-organized and structured layout that enables intuitive navigation across Deep Vista AI's dashboard and calendar and profile. And this structure enhances user understanding, streamlined access to key features, and provides a solid foundation for seamless user journeys. Heading up to Devani for wireframes.
So let's walk through how we moved from lo-fi to mid-fi wireframes to arrive at a focused product direction. So we started by exploring multiple directions: task flows, dashboards, team tools, and assistants. So to evaluate them quickly, we built lo-fi prototypes and aligned on feedback from our founder. Moving on, based on our early feedback, one direction stood out: the smart email assistant. It's an AI assistant that generates context-aware replies to help users manage their inbox faster. Moving on, the second direction we kept was the product context view, a centralized space where users can access key documents, discussions, and files linked to their email threads. Moving on, this mattered because founders spend almost 30% of their time replying to emails. They receive up to 200 emails a day, and that adds to their decision fatigue. So we focused the product to reduce the burden with intelligent context-driven tools. Moving on, once we finalized these two features, we moved to the mid-fi wireframes to sharpen flows, the layout, and the interactions. So moving on, So here you can see the mid-fi versions of the smart email assistant. We refined how emails show up, how AI replies are presented, and how users can tweak responses before sending. Moving on, this is the mid-fi for the project context. We focused on making content easily accessible without disrupting the reply workflow. Users can now refer to the project docs right next to the inbox. Based on these mid-fi wireframes, we moved on to the usability testing. Handing it over to Venom.
Hi, everyone. I'll talk about our initial usability testing approach and key takeaways. We conducted this testing to understand how real users experience early stage solar founders interact with Deep Vista AI and email features. The goal was to see if the users found AI helpful and complete their tasks smoothly, and we can uncover any pain points, confusion, or hesitation. If you go to the next slide. How we perform the testing. So we designed 4 task-based flows, each rooted in realistic scenarios, things like replying to email investors or retrieving files or asking AI for directions. And at the end of each task, we followed up with questions to dig deeper into their experience. And if you go on to the next slide, here's what we learned for the key insights. First, users were unsure if AI reply was editable or had templates. And users wanted the ability to customize those replies. If you go to the next slide. Without onboarding, users felt some icons and some features were confusing, and tooltips and better labels would help. And for the context, for the context panel, purpose was unclear, and users didn't always understand its role during interactions. And if you go to the next slide. On a positive note, the roadmaps and action items stood out as intuitive as easy to navigate. These insights has given us clear direction on what to improve next, and from onboarding to UI clarity and making AI interactions more transparent. And Dhwani will be talking about design thinking.
So what did our design thinking look like? Moving on, we followed an iterative design thinking process, constantly moving between ideation, designing, and testing. Each cycle helped us refine the problem and improve our solutions based on real user feedback. Moving on, we started broad, multiple feature ideas, and used quick lo-fi prototypes to explore what was worth pursuing. Moving on, after aligning with our founder, we narrowed the scope to two key directions: Smart Email Assistant and Project Context View. Moving on, across the next few weeks, we built 4 rounds of prototypes. Each version was tested and shaped by continuous feedback. So in usability testing, 2 insights stood out. Users wanted to see AI thinking happen in real time, and they needed a clear, centralized view of all their project context. So our final direction was to build the high-fidelity prototypes for 2 features: Deep Chat, the AI chat assistant, and Smartbox, the smart email manager. Yes, handing it off to Shuli to talk about the Deep Vista branding.
So for the Deep Vista branding, we started with the logo exploration. We went ahead and focused on the deep aspect and also the AI aspect of it, and played with a lot of colors, a lot of layers, because we had different features into it. So after the logo exploration and discussing it with the client and the context he has in mind, so we finalized this as our final brand logo for Deep Vista. We also, just for you guys to see the black and white version for our logo. And here are some variations of the logo usage, how it will be used in social media and other medias, print as well as all the media. The client really wanted a brand logo, so we went ahead and did a little extra for him. For our style guide, here's our mood board. If you look at the mood board, it's really vibrant and it uplifts the mood of a viewer. It energizes you. We decided to go ahead with such a mood board since in the research phase, we found like the founders are really stressed and they are very anxious and overwhelmed with their journey. So to make that easy and to uplift their mood, we decided to stick with such a mood board. For our color theory, it's really purposeful. We have warm tones in here to energize the founder. We have the cool tones to build trust, and the neutrals for clarity. Basically, our color theory, it brings together to help the founder to reduce their cognitive load and provide them with meaningful cues. We have our functional palette in here. You can see the neutrals and the primary base and the accent being used. You will see it in the high fidelity design, but this is how we decided to use our color as a guide for our design system to give a lot of readability and accessibility. We also have this expressive color palette in here. It also adds as a guide to give you the feedback, error, success, warning, and how it will be used on the surface and borders. We try to define all of that. Dhwani will take up the rest of the design system.
So in this section, we'll cover the design system details, including iconography, typography, layout, structure, and core components. So first, we use Google's Material Tree design system for its wide variety of clean, recognizable icon sets. It gave us consistency and flexibility across different UI elements. Moving on, we chose Roberto as our primary font. It's familiar, readable, and available across all platforms. Moving on, so our layout follows a 12-column grid with flexible stretch behavior. And moving on, to our components, we began building atomic and reusable components, from the chat box and summaries to buttons and AI responses. Each was designed to keep interactions intuitive and lightweight. Moving on. We also explored more complex components like navigation bars, filtering panels, and priority views. All of this will be shown in our high-fidelity prototype. And this helped us scale the interface while staying organized and consistent. So I'm just going to quickly show you like the high fidelity mockups, which focuses on the main chat space on the right-hand side. And the left-hand side is a navigation bar for the founder to kind of go through all of their emails with a smart categorization on the top. And you can see like priority, teams, start messages, all of that. Moving on. Here on the right-hand side is like a quick edit tab, which helps like one of the usability findings showed us that the users want to kind of edit their emails before like they send it out. So we created a version where they can directly edit the version of the AI response before sending it. Shuli will be showing more on that later. Moving on. Here is like a smarter segregation called teams. What this does is any founder that has multiple views of like their teams, like it basically segregates it. It can be like recruitment, marketing, or design. The AI smartly segregates it so that the user doesn't have to do it. Moving on. Yes, handing it over to Shuli for the prototype and usability testing.
So for the second usability testing, we kind of mix the prototyping and usability testing together. And I'll just take you through it. This is what we went ahead with all our participants. We did like a quick onboarding for all the participants. We showed them the Deep Vista logo. We told them a little bit about what Deep Vista is. For our prototype, the context we have used is Alex as our user, and the persona really matches with our solo startup founders. In here is the onboarding slide. This is our smart box, where your email, basically your smart email manager. And this is the deep chat, the Deep Vista chat assistant. In here, we also did like a detailed onboarding for them to, because they were looking at the product for the first time. So the filtration email in here, how you can filter and go to the team's priority and the unread and star. And in here, you see the email list. At the bottom, you will see the profile and settings section. On top right section, this is where the main magic happens. You see your chat with Deep Vista AI. And then here's the area where you input your prompt with Deep Vista chat. And here are some quick suggestion prompts. Based on this, we then started with our first flow. So our first flow was to respond. So basically, Alex needs to respond to a priority email using Deep Vista's AI-generated suggestion and edit it. So when they read that and they go ahead, so Alex gets greeted by Deep Vista. And Deep Vista just lets them know about, like, there's a new email in the priority from Sarah asking for collaboration proposal. So Alex really knows he has to click on it. So when they click on it, they can click on reply, but because Deep Vista is proactive, the chat really starts developing AI suggestion reply. Now you have two options in here where you can either edit it or like send the message. But since in the last usability testing, we wanted the editing option, here's how the user can edit it. And when they save the changes, it automatically like gets saved and then you can send it. So this is how you get AI suggested response, but you can also edit it in this case. This is where the first task flow is over. We also went ahead and put in the questions to ask our participants these questions during the testing. Moving on to the next flow, replying to a marketing email with product market fit analysis generated by Deep Vista AI. So in here, so our dashboard, the first thing you see on our dashboard is always the priority emails and the chat. So in this case, Alex, our user, has to go to the marketing teams area to find the marketing email. And when they go there, the AI automatically like understands. And when they click on Jordan's email, they get the context. There's also a slide missing. Basically, when they click on marketing, they get like a summary, like they have a new email related to what, and then they get Jordan's email, and then they get and then the AI starts talking to them about what the email needs. So when the user clicks on and then writes the prompt, like, yeah, go ahead, generate the product market fit analysis, the AI goes ahead and creates the analysis for them. And this is how they receive a product market fit. And they also like ask, would you like to make any edits? And then the user just says, no, just directly send it to Jordan. And the AI sends the product market fit. For the next flow, we have the view task flow as view the investor Ryan's email in the priority and get action items and summary. So when Alex opened their Deep Vista AI, they have the investor Ryan's email on top. And so sometimes the reason for this flow is basically one of the reasoning which we found during our research phase, which was like, sometimes you get so long feedback from the investors that it gets confusing what the actionable items or what are the next actionable steps, for which we have the summary, but we also decided to have something like action items where the AI can read through, analyze a confusing email and bring out action items in there. So this is what the third task flow is. Moving on to the fourth flow, it's quite easy, like check weekly meetings using suggestion prompts. So in here, we have these quick suggestion links. So the user clicks on the weekly meetings. When they click on the weekly meetings, the AI just tells them like what all meetings they have this week. Based on that, the AI just like it's proactive. So it asks you, would you like to modify, reschedule any of the meeting? And then the user can say like, yeah, you can keep a meeting for Thursday 3 p.m. So the AI just checks like, are there any conflicts? And also like, so checking all the conflicts of the existing meeting and everything, it sets up the meeting and then asks like, would you like any reminders? So the user can respond how they want their reminders. So AI syncs up the calendar and everything. So these are all our flows. And then we also created like a post-usability testing survey. This survey basically, whenever you guys also have time, you can click on this link when we share the file, and here is the prototype testing link. And after the survey, you can just click on the post-testing usability testing survey and take it. So Jasmine and Dhwani will share the testing results with you.
All right. So this is one of our users tester feedback is that our design was very clean and very intuitive. Action items needs to be clear due to the hierarchy that we need to update in the future. Risk aspects needs to be visible in the action items, and want to know scheduling conflicts before sending to others in for like the marketing department or any other user. And those are the quotes that you can definitely check out later and see what the feedback see what the quotes they gave us during usability testing. Heading up to Devani.
Yeah, so some of our feedbacks and quotes that we got were that there's a need for a multilingual support to help with more inclusive communication. A lot of our participants were bilingual, and they wanted their email responses to be, like everything needs to be multilingual for communication and not just in English. So that was one thing that really stood out to us, as this is not just for just English speakers. There's a need for they also said that the UI and UX would they would rate it an 8 out of 10 overall. And one user suggested to look at the weekly meeting section and suggest a Google Calendar integration. And these are some more quotes that we got. Would love for you guys to read it later on. Handing it over to Shuli.
So for the recommendations and the next steps for us to make changes, the immediate changes, we identified like a lot of patterns and the top direction through the user, like the feedbacks we got. And here are some like top recommendations which we will be doing immediately after this. Like enhance the button visibility and the layout to make it a little better for the edit button specifically in here, if you can see. So out of all our users, some could really quickly get it because they were used to ChatGPT, but then for some people struggled with identifying this edit button. So this is something we'll be changing really quick. The second recommendation in here, refining the meeting scheduling experience by automating checks for conflicts and also integrating the calendar. So in here, our our AI checks our conflicts, but if they would also want to check like the other people, their calendar and their conflict, and also maybe have like a calendar system where they can directly make edits. In here, we also felt like another point is where we will be changing this code in here, where the AI asks the user, would you like to set reminder for any of these? Instead of this, the AI, we want it to become proactive. So we are going to change this statement in a way where the AI says, we are setting reminders 1 hour before each meeting. Would you like to tweak it, or would you like us to, put some other reminders? So like the first reminders should be automated. That's what we felt. And the third recommendation, provide more control over action items, allowing users to edit it. So for this flow, which I just showed you, the user could not edit the action items, but we'll be adding a feature where they can change the action items or the summary, and then they can use it for other purpose. The recommendation 4 was to improve transparency of AI-generated data and the context to increase it. Though we have the thinking part and we are keeping the context in the chat flow, the user also wants something like what ChatGPT and other AI tools have incorporated. Like when you click on this, you get a detailed page or a pop-up where you have all the context together. So like a deeper look in the context is something what the users want to see, where all the data is stored, like the context which the AI is using. And in here, the recommendation 5 is, integrate multilingual support and simplify language option for better clarity. So for example, there is an email in Chinese. When the action items are translated in English, sometimes there is loss of context. So to do this part, we will be working with our developing team and everybody to make this happen, like so that the context stays intact. Thank you so much. We can't wait to present Deep Vista's ship product with you all on the demo today.
Amazing work. Okay, we're going to open it up to all the coaches and everyone else to ask questions. If we're a bit over time, but I think everyone's really excited to see each other's work. So ask each other questions as well. Give each other feedback. If you're curious how a team did something, this is also a great time to ask. So this is not just a time for coaches. Before I hand it to Kathy, a few areas I'll share more in depth on Slack. The biggest opportunity for all the teams, I believe, is to just add more friction to the story. If you think back to office hours, right? There's a lot of good questions all of you are asking me about, like, hey, how could we do this? What if we're pivoting? How do I balance this with the founders or the devs? So those are actually really exciting things that you should add into your story, right? Basically, all of your projects right now are just describing like what you did, but there's no frictions and stories, right? So imagine if you're adding those parts. So I'll send a very detailed write-up for all of you on Slack in just a few minutes. But let's spend a little bit of time discussing and hearing feedback from other folks.
Yeah, I can go really quick. I know I've been spamming you guys with feedback, so thanks for tolerating me. So I think I just want to make sure I think there's you guys all did such good work. I want to make sure that you guys are interview ready, So I think there's a couple key things where you could that are easy fixes that you could 10x your presentation. So one, you should storytell. Right? Movies never start out with, this is what the title is, this is what the movie is about, right? It takes you straight to the first scene to draw you in. So do not introduce the team at the beginning. Nobody cares about who you are. Do it at the end. The only reason to do it is to show your contributions. So do it for a reason. Don't just do it because you want to introduce the team. Don't say we did research or we try to figure out AI's role. Just tell me what the actual damn insight is. Okay, I don't care that you did research or that you did usability testing. Just lead with the insight. Another thing is lead with the problem solution and then show the behind the scenes. I feel like a lot of teams, I see they have you guys have kick-ass high fidelity prototypes, but you guys are completely burying the lead. You're showing it in the middle of the presentation, which is when people are least likely to pay attention. So you're going to lose the hiring manager from the very beginning, right? And that's such a waste. You want to show the final the problem, the result, and then be like, okay, now let me take you behind the scenes. That's much more compelling. Also show the value of what you built. So for actually showing the solution, I would show the exact use case. So instead of saying,
we built an infinite canvas, you should say the user can now do this new thing with the infinite canvas, because nobody actually cares about an infinite canvas, right? Nobody wakes up and is like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to use an infinite canvas on Figma, right? They're more likely to say, yay, Figma's new workflow is really going to help me like speed up my workflows. Along those lines, like use human faces, use quotes to humanize a problem. If you're not able to communicate it in like 2 sentences, you're showing a lack of communication skills, and you're going to lose the hiring manager's attention. And then just finally, real quick, in general, your energy and attitude makes a huge difference. I feel like a lot of you guys are presenting as if you're at like a boring work meeting. That is not going to cut it, okay? Especially if you're literally competing against hundreds of other candidates. So the case studies that actually stand out are the ones where you can tell the presenter is like genuinely having fun while presenting. So I think that just makes such a big world of difference, because your excitement and your passion, or lack thereof, for your work is going to shine through. So I think if you have good storytelling, it'll work wonders, not just on your audience, but on you as a presenter, because you're having fun. So your audience will be able to tell. Okay, I'm done.
Any follow-up questions? Any feedback? Anything anyone wants to clarify?
Yeah, I'm just going to drop in something really quick. I thought that was a great point, especially the fact that adding in that enthusiasm in the presentation. I think that really stands out. Like, there's one part of the storytelling that's having a very streamlined story, but the other part is having just some intonation when you're going through, taking a pause or making emphasis on certain points. I think those really, really help for the audience to sink into certain points that you really want to put emphasis on. The other thing was, I did want to shout out, I think I added in the Google Hangouts, but this last one, I think you guys did a very good job with the deck, Deep Vista, that I think it balanced really well, just showing a few examples, meanwhile some texts, right? So because a lot of times when you show out a deck, it could be consumed in 2 ways. One is when you're presenting it to them, but after you present to it, it's possible that they might start passing around this deck internally within the hiring manager and all that stuff. So it's good that you have some text to balance that out, and I thought you guys did a very good job.